Darren, listen, I know that there's a lot of competition in terms of the forwards for England, but are you a bit surprised that Sterling's been left out, particularly given that Gareth Southgate seems to like taking players that have played at the last 3 or 4 tournaments for us? You know, the likes of, obviously, Maguire and Henderson have made it back into that squad. Pickford will be the number 1 as well. So in that sense, despite the amount of competition there is for the forwards, are you quite surprised to see Sterling miss out again?
Yeah, I am actually, and particularly in the last few weeks where he's come into a bit of form, and he's like you said, he never lets England down. And Gareth Southgate seems to like that. He seems to like his regulars with experience. He speaks a lot about experience in tournaments, and he's probably been arguably England's best player in the last couple of tournaments. Now, it's probably a difficult position to break into because there are a lot of talent up there we've seen, but I just feel he's good enough to be in the squad, and I don't know if something's happened. I'm not sure how he takes it. I'm not sure he'll take it that well, not being called up to England. But if he's not in this one, you'd question whether he's going to make it to the squad for the Euros. But you'd think out of everyone that's not in the squad, there's still an opportunity for him. Yeah,
I think, as you say, it's looking now as if he'd have to be in blistering form for Chelsea ahead of the tournament itself to make sure that he's back in that squad. But it's funny, as you say, he hasn't let England down. You know, he was our player of the tournament at the Euros as well. Dragged us to the final, I felt, as well. So,
do you think that's right, though, Ollie? Do you think it's right that some players, now Sterling one of them, James Ward-Prowse seems to be another one, that you have to be on blistering form to get into the team? And some players don't even have to play, or don't have to play at a high level, or even be on that good form and they get straight in.
Yeah, some players are on blistering form and aren't getting into the team. I was actually going to ask you just then about Anthony Gordon, who hasn't made it in again. Now, I have to say, when you look at the forwards that you're taking, Anthony Gordon has been, honestly, arguably Newcastle's best player over this period where they've been picking up some brilliant results.
Yeah.
But I have to say, even when you look at some of the players that have got in, I'm not quite sure who you would take out to put Gordon in, but he's going to be gutted, isn't he? Because, as you say, he's playing out of his skin, but still can't find his way into that England squad.
Yeah, that's the main question, if you're thinking about it, is who comes out, even for Sterling, who comes out. Now, I know we spoke about Saka earlier, and that was just because of injury and fitness, but does he get in front of like Bowen, Foden, Grealish? We don't know who's going to play Foden or Grealish. Foden has to play for me. I think he's sensational. Does he get in front of Maddison, Rashford, Saka? I don't think he does. Then you've got Watkins and Wilson, who play in second fiddle or back up to Harry Kane. So I think in the forward areas with Anthony Gordon and Sterling, that's the difficult one. It's the midfield one for me. And I go back, we spoke about it before, it's James Ward-Prowse, and I know he's trending on X or Twitter or whatever it is because people think he should be in the squad, and he's not. The midfield area is the one where he could be bringing people in. The forward line, arguably could pick anyone.
Yeah, I think especially with Phillips, when you look at the fact that even Rico Lewis was starting ahead of him against Young Boys the other day, it just seems a bit baffling, doesn't it? But you know, Southgate seems to have his favourites in these situations. Just on Anthony Gordon, because you had a career with the England under-21s, of course. He had a magnificent summer. Anthony Gordon was player of the tournament as they won the Euros. In that sense, and going off your own experiences, do you feel sorry for him that, you know, in a way he hasn't been rewarded, not just for his good form for England in that tournament, but also his good form for Newcastle as well?
It's so different to when I played, because nowadays the natural progression is 21s to the first team. Back when I was playing, the under-21s still seemed so far away from the England first team. There wasn't many players that went 21s straight in, whereas now that's what happens, natural progression. So if you're winning the tournament in the summer and you're the best player in the tournament, and I spoke about James Trafford before, we spoke about it last time I was on, that he didn't concede a goal and he saved that last minute penalty, and there's still an opportunity for him. But there's no one really I don't think there's anyone that played in the 21s tournament that is in the team. Maybe Levi Colwill, I think,
he was,
is the one. I'm not sure there's any more. And that's the strange thing for me, because you're winning big tournaments in the younger age group, but not making that step up. But it's a big tournament coming up for the full squad.
I don't know though.
And he likes experience.
Well, he does, but especially for games against with respect, Malta and North Macedonia, surely you want to try
4-0 and 7-0 those games.
Surely you
want to
try a few players out.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.